Hi everyone, welcome to Creators on the Crest. My name is Stephanie, and today I wanted to share a bit about how I prepare for my client readings and my client sessions, because a lot of people want to know, how do you deal with the cards? How do you prepare? How do you get ready for all that? So today I'm going to go through what I do personally in order to prepare for readings and sessions. The very first thing that I always do is that I set up my own circle of protection. And the tradition I use is the circle of the magician. Circles are used throughout all of history and all kinds of cultures. And I find the circle of the magician, which I'm not going to go into detail about, but I find it to be the best, most solid, most clearing kind of protective circle that I can set for myself. And so I do take time to do that. It's usually a daily process, but sometimes I will spend more time setting up that circle in a more ritualistic kind of sense, where I take maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes to be in that space with myself. And then, of course, I really prefer a clear and clean space when I'm getting ready to do readings, especially card readings where you're going to need a lot of surface area. So I make sure the desk and the space is clean and the lighting and everything is set up right. And I've got my camera where I want it to be, and everything is set nice and clear, nice and clean, as simple as possible. Along those same lines, I like to make sure that my environment is as free as many distractions as possible. So I have a little dog. Sometimes he likes to bark, but that kind of adds a little element to what I do. So I don't worry about him too much, but I make sure, that if there's other people in the house, that I have the doors closed, that the sound's going to be okay, that I'm in just the right space of being able to do what I need to do. And then that's when I really sink into myself. I turn to my greater being, and I'm really feeling into my energies across all dimensions, all time and space. Who am I? Who is Stephanie on the soul level? Because Stephanie is a human incarnation. So on the soul level, who is my greater being? And I'm really tapping into the fullness of those energies and taking a moment to expand myself so that I can reach my clients. Alongside that, I take time to tune into the natural prime creator of the universe. Now, people use all kinds of terms to describe this and how they relate to it, from God to creator source to creator to great spirit. There are all kinds of names and labels we can put on this. In my personal belief and development, I have settled on the natural prime creator of the universe, because I want to make sure that I'm connecting into the highest, purest source of creation and of creative energies without any kind of influence, human influence, or any kind of inversions or diversions from that pure energy source. And then after I do that, I take time to allow my relationship to my greater being, my relationship to the natural prime creator of the universe, to really activate me. So I let those energies kind of sink into me, come into my heart core essence, and really sit with those energies and allow an activation to happen. An activation that's aligned with my intentions of providing my clients the best possible information and messages for their highest good and the highest good of everyone connected to them. After I do that, then what I need to do is tune in to my actual client's energy. So I am always setting the intention that I'm tuning in to the people who are going to be viewing my videos, their energies, the energies of their greater being. Okay, so not necessarily their human self. All of that will come through their greater being. Their greater being will tell me everything that I need to know, that they need to hear. So I'm tuning in to everyone who will watch my video now or down the road. And I'm tuning into, if it's a sign I'm doing like Capricorn, I'm going to tune into the Capricorn collective greater being energy. And the more people are tuned into me, the more likely I'm going to pick up on their energy. So if they're following me, their energy is going to be available if their greater being deems it to be available. It's not something where I go in and I'm trying to access a particular person or interfere with anybody's energy. No, it's a greater being sense. It's a collective sense in those readings. Or I might be doing a reading for star seeds. So anyone who has the experience of their soul traveling throughout all time and space in other star systems, where they know they've had other incarnations and lived in other places in the universe, I tune into the greater beings of those energies, right? And those souls who might benefit from the messages that I'm going to be presenting to them. Now, I know there's a lot of other little earthly helpers we can use. So from time to time, I might have a crystal, like I have blue kyanite here. I might have a crystal handy. I might have a candle lit, as I do right now. I might burn a little Palo Santo. That's one of my favorite scents. I might use a little frankincense essential oil. It really just depends on the mood and what I'm feeling from the energies. I let those guide me into what little earthly tools I might use to further set the intention or decorate the table, or just have with me so that I can amplify those energies and those messages. And then it comes to, if I'm doing a tarot reading, the actual card decks. So I will then, after I tune into the energies of my clients and the intention of the reading, I'm going to select the decks that are calling to me based on that. So if I'm doing monthly readings for all the signs, I do use the same decks for each sign because they are general readings. So I'll set the intention. I'm going to be doing all the monthly readings, and I'll go and select the decks. When I select each deck, I get them arranged on my table, and each deck I will clear before I use it for the reading from the previous energy. So the very first time, usually I do, like if I'm doing Capricorn first, I knock 3 times, kind of wipe the cards like this. This is my indicator that I'm clearing the cards of the previous energies, and I'm attuning them to the Capricorn collective energies that I'm going to be reading. When I'm done with Capricorn, I move on to, let's say, Scorpio. I'm not clear. All the Capricorn energies are clear, and I move on to the Scorpio energies, or whatever sign it might be. So I do clear between each intended reading, even if I'm using the same decks. Now, it will depend on other readings I'm doing or private sessions. That depends on the client specifically, because I'm tuning in more directly to their energy because they have come forth and asked for that interaction to happen. Okay. I also have to be comfortable. So sometimes, even after all the preparation, I just need to get comfortable in my seat. My chair likes to squeak a lot. So I like to get, I have a little chair cushion. I like to be ergonomic. I like to be comfortable in my body. I like to have my arms at the right height for shuffling, some of those little things that we have to get in place in the environment around us. But once I get that, I hit that button and I go. So a lot of people will ask, well, how do you shuffle? And I shuffle a couple ways. I do split the deck and shuffle with the little arch at the end. But usually during readings, if I'm not going to pull cards in advance, I am shuffling like this. And there's no right or wrong way. Just do what works for your hands. I have small hands, so the bigger the cards, the more I have to do this kind of shuffle. And some people like to cut their decks. Some don't. I personally don't do that unless I feel called. Sometimes there are times where I feel called to split the deck. And just put, the bottom on the top or the top on the bottom, or switch things around. I really go with whatever I'm feeling natural in the moment without being too strict around those little minutia details. It really depends on the reader and their relationship to the cards and their relationship to their clients. So I like to keep things as simple as possible. And this routine actually comes very naturally. So once you do it a few times, it's really easy to pick up. Now, in some of my readings, you're going to see that it's just my hands, or you're going to see a few pile of cards that have already been pre-selected. It just means I've gone through a lot of the process off camera and done the shuffling and the clearing and the shuffling and everything for you in advance, because I want to get to the meat of the readings and I want your viewing experience to be very dedicated to that. There will be other readings where you'll see me shuffle and draw cards like on the spot on the camera, but it really depends how long it takes and what's going to be most valuable for your viewing experience. So that's what I wanted to share. If you have any questions or comments about that, or would like me to do a follow-up video about this in the future, or have some of those types of questions that I could answer, please comment below. It's been a pleasure getting here on this platform and sharing all my videos with you, and I can't wait to do more. Please tune in next time. I'll see you again soon.